We spend a lot of time talking about picking projects, working on something, or seeing it through to the end. But what comes after that? Honestly, this step can be just as hard as beginning, but for very different reasons. The blank page can loom before you, making the simple idea of starting a difficult one to swallow. And yet, when you finish something, especially if it turned out well, it can be even more difficult to move forward. Expectations begin to play a fairly pivotal role here, and I think that this is where the issues begin. Smogist is coming to a close, a month-long event in August each year where we draw dragons each day. And Inktober, which is similar but takes place in October and uses ink, will be upon us here in a month or so. But projects like these, and like many other kinds, start and end every day of the calendar year. So, how do you move on? How do you start the next one without succumbing to the fear of expectations or the shadow of the past? When you've exhausted all your energy, just throwing every piece of you into something over the course of weeks or months, what do you do next? As with most artistic things, there isn't a perfect answer, but the mindset you have will dictate much, and help or hinder much. If you allow yourself to see the project you just completed as this massive undertaking, this intimidating thing, it will eventually and naturally discourage you from engaging in the next thing. Some of this can be evaded by simply doing something very different with your time. If you finished a month-long challenge like I just mentioned, perhaps don't dive into another one right away. Give yourself some time to make fun little doodles, little comics perhaps, or try working in a different medium. If you primarily work in ink like I do, maybe it's time to work with watercolor for a while or give digital art another go. Maybe it's time to work on some writing, some world building, some story crafting. Something a little bit different, almost like a palate cleanser, like that chunk of ginger after a bite of sushi. Progress is good, of course, but if progress for its own sake is your pursuit, it becomes hard to find joy. And joy, at least in part, has to be the purpose here. So try diverting from whatever it was that you finished and try diving into something different for a little bit of time. This might seem unproductive, especially if you are the kind of person who is devoted with a kind of singular focus to progress or toward a professional art career. And yet, if you take a little bit of time away from your primary medium and it keeps you in art without wasting a large amount of time, in the end, it's still going to be more advantageous for you. You're just going to have to trust me on this one. But if you are a planner like me, try perhaps putting together a new plan moving forward rather than just diving into the next thing. It's often less stressful to put together a plan than actually beginning something. There is a temptation, of course, to plan and plan and plan, but if you are actually finishing challenges, large paintings, or portfolio building exercises, then you know how to work something through till the end. But maybe that is a good idea, to start putting together a simple list. Start lining out what you're going to do next. Start pulling apart those pieces. Inktober is coming up, and this will be the 4th or 5th year that I've done it. And I tend to design and sketch out everything ahead of time. The planning, although work for sure, is far less stressful than actually doing the pieces. And yet, the planning also inevitably makes each piece less stressful in and of itself. I find that this simple break from the monotony of long projects is really beneficial for me. In fact, I think that the part of my brain that engages on planning versus just fun little doodle drawings like you're watching take place right now, and large projects, those aspects are so totally different. Each of them takes like a different form of energy from my artistic soul, or whatever you want to call it. I can plan and plan and plan ad infinitum pretty much without losing energy. And yet, large projects will often consume a tremendous amount of energy, especially if I haven't put a lot of planning into them. So you might try balancing your time, making sure that you're doing a variety of things in the interim, but also try planning things out. Maybe this is in written form, maybe this is all in sketches, but just make sure that it is tangible in some way and not just in your mind. As you move on from the completion of your tasks and projects, remember that each thing is separate. You don't need to dive back into another project to validate yourself or prove that you are a real artist. Each thing stands alone. That massive thing you just completed, let it be. It is a monument to your work and is not lessened by anything that comes after. If your next project turns out worse or even better, it does not diminish what you have already accomplished. There is satisfaction in simply seeing something through, and hold on to that. You won't have that in every minute of your artistic life. So when you do finish something, allow yourself to feel that success. Allow yourself to feel happy. I've known many artists over the years who almost feel embarrassed or ashamed if they really enjoy or like the finished product that they just put together. But that's just having pride in your work. And as an artist, as a craftsperson, it's kind of necessary. And it's almost like an inbuilt reward for the trials and the struggle. Lastly, give yourself some grace. Yes, I mention this often, but I'm not sure we as artists can hear it too many times. Art is hard, and art is probably harder nowadays than ever. With the visibility and general lack of honesty on the internet and social media, we can see artists around the world, some from thousands of years ago, some from now, some that aren't even real with all of the AI nonsense that floats around. It's easy to feel like you are lacking in comparison to other people, to see other people's progress and go, my goodness, there's no way I can ever catch up to that. It's so easy to fall victim to basically this erroneous scandal. But it's not real. You have no way of verifying that what is posted online is accurate, is real, is consistent, is even a tiny snapshot of that person and their life. Somebody could mess up 100 drawings and succeed on one and only post that one. And yet we are sitting here observing and we don't have any context. So be careful to avoid those things. Art is difficult, it always has been, but there are pieces of it now for sure that are harder than they ever have been. So give yourself some grace. Allow yourself to move forward slowly, to progress, and to not be daunted by everything that sits around you and is visible on these cursed little screens that we all spend so much time in. But the big thing is, if you are finishing a project, if you finished a project and you're listening to this, you're trying to figure out how to move forward, congratulations on finishing something. Finishing anything artistically is always a wonderful boon. There are many people who try things and never stick through till the end to actually see what it looks like for a drawing or a painting or a book or whatever to actually be finished. You are among peers, a group of people who have pushed their nose to the grindstone to complete things, to strive to make things better, to bring new things into existence. And it is a noble and honorable pursuit. So thank you. Thank you for creating, for sticking to things and finishing them, and allow yourself to feel that success, the pride that comes with a task well done. Well, as always, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. I hope this was beneficial for you. I haven't done a video like this in a while that is kind of just detached from everything else, but I would love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I would also love to hear what topic you'd like to have me talk about next time. Well, have a good one, y'all. See you soon.